Now just before you continue watching this video, please note that I do talk about major spoilers from Marvel Studios' Avengers Endgame. So if you have yet to see the film, then I'd highly recommend that you click off this video and go see it as soon as possible, because it is hands down the must-see film of the year. What's going on, everybody? It's Game Unboxing Reviews here, and welcome back to another LEGO DC Supervillains video. So in today's video, I'm of course going to be showing you guys how to make Black Widow from Avengers Endgame using the in-game Customiser. So without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so to start off with, we're of course going to head into Appearance, Head, Head, and then Head again, and you're going to scroll all the way to the bottom until you find Custom Head 11 in, of course, this skin tone right here. Then once you've done that, you're going to back out of there, go into Face Decal Color, which is the color of the eyebrows, which we want to make sure are this color right here. For the eyeshadow, just go ahead and match it with the skin tone. For the lip color, we're going to go with this one right here, and we don't need any accessories, so of course we can back out of there, go into Hair, and you're going to scroll all the way to the bottom until you find the third ponytail hairstyle. And for the color, you want to make sure that you match it with the eyebrows. Nice. Now then, onto the body. So for the body, we're going to go for preset body, and you're going to scroll all the way to the very top until you find Arsenal's body. And for the color, you're obviously going to make sure that it is white. Nice. Now then, onto the arms. So for the arms, we're going to go to both arms, and you want to choose Adam Strange. And for the first color, they need to be black, while the second color needs to be white. And once you've done that, you're of course going to make sure that the hands are black. For the hips, we're going to go with Arsenal's yet again in white. And finally, for the legs, we're actually going to go with Adam Strange's. And for the first color, you need to make sure that it is red, while the second color needs to be white. Nice. Now then, onto the effects. Now, obviously, Black Widow doesn't have any powers in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but what she does have is electrical batons. And using the effects and weapons in this game, we're going to try to simulate that. So basically, what you want to do is you want to head into left-hand glow, turn that on, make sure that you go with style 4, and for the color we're going to go with this blue right here. And obviously you're going to do the same for the right hand glow as well. So you're going to turn that on, make sure that you go with style 4, and for the color we're going to go with this blue. Now then, for the hit impact effect, you're going to turn that on, make sure that you go with style 1, and for the color, yet again, you're going to go with this blue. But for the jump slam effect, you are going to go with style 1, but you're going to go with black as the color this time, so it leaves less of an effect as possible. Nice. Now then, before we move on into the abilities, we of course need to give Natasha some weapons. So you're going to head on into weapons, misc weapon type. You're going to scroll down until you find a baseball bat. Make sure that the position is in both hands, and then for the color for both weapons, you need it to be black. Nice. Now then, onto the abilities. So we don't need to add any abilities to the tag button, but for the jump button, we're going to go to double tap X, double jump, turn that on, double jump style, and we're going to add double jump style 4. We obviously don't need the hyper jump ability on hold X, and we're also going to leave tap square, but on hold square, you're going to go to beam, turn that on, make sure that you go with beam style 5. For the damage type, we're going to go with an electric beam. For the color, you're going to go with the same blue that you went with for the effects, and then for the origin, we're going to go with weapon, because as you can see here, that looks extremely cool. Now then, for the circle button, on tap circle, we're of course going to add shrink as a nice little reference to the fact that obviously to get into the quantum realm you need to be small. And then finally for hold circle, we're going to add an explosion attack ability. So you're going to turn that on, make sure that you go with, I believe it's explosion style 5, yep, that one right there. For the effect, we want to go with the second one. For the damage type, we're going to go with an electric explosion, and for the color, we're going to go with the same blue that we've been going with for everything else. Nice. Now then, onto the skills. So let's see here. So I definitely think that Natasha should have a grapple gun. So we're going to turn that on. Make sure that you go with black as the grapple gun color. And then for the rope type, I think we'll just go with rope type 1 in black as well. Nice. Now then, for the rest of the skills, I think we'll add technology, acrobatics, wall climbing. We don't need smash walls or super strength. I don't think any of these are necessary, but we'll add tracking. Turn that on. Make sure that it is, I would say go with red because that's quite fitting for that character. And finally, I think we'll top it off by adding stealth. Nice. Now then, onto the personality. So for the health icon, I'm just going to go with red to match the quantum realm suit. For the health type, we're going to go with standard health. For the voice, just choose any female voice. For the speed, go with normal. For the target reticle, I would probably suggest going with live wires. And then for the animation set, this doesn't matter because obviously when you give your character weapons, it overwrites that animation set anyway. So we're just going to stick with normal. Alright, cool. So we have done the appearance, the effects, the abilities, the personality. We've given her some weapons. So now all we need to do is fill in the basic information. exclamation. So for the status we'll put hero, for the affiliation we'll put unknown, and then for the name we're of course going to put Black Widow. Nice. Alright, cool. So now of course what we're going to do is drop Black Widow into the hub world and see just what she can do. And here she is! This is of course my custom made Black Widow from Avengers Endgame, made in LEGO DC Supervillains. Let's just get a good look at her right here. Now originally when I started making this character I wanted to try and recreate Natasha's new costume from the film. However, sadly I just was not happy with the way that was turning out, so instead I decided to give her a Quantum Realm suit, like I've of course already done with most of my custom Avengers in this game. But still, I think she turned out looking really cool. The only thing that was bothering me whilst making this design is the hair colour, because in tons of different promotional material Natasha had a different hair colour, whether it was this one or a darker red. So in the end I just decided to do exactly what LEGO did, gave her the same hairpiece and also the same hair colour. Anyway, enough chit chat. What can she actually do? Well, of course she can jump and double jump in the air. If we come over here we can demonstrate her melee attacks using the electrical batons, which are very cool. We can also perform a jump attack using these weapons as well, which is really nice. Of course we can also shoot electricity out of the batons as well, which I think looks really cool. And finally, of course, we can also shrink, which is a nice little reference to the fact that obviously to get into the quantum realm and time travel you need to shrink. Anyway, now of course what we're going to do is head on into Metropolis and fight the police, because obviously this is LEGO DC Supervillains. We're not going to be stopping the crimes, we're going to be the ones starting them. Just as another friendly reminder, I am about to talk about major spoilers from Marvel Studios' Avengers Endgame in this section of the video. So again, if you haven't seen the movie, then please click off the video right now, because you do not want this film spoiled for you. Now, one of the things that I found most interesting about Avengers Endgame was Marvel Studios' use of the character of Black Widow, because I have to be perfectly honest, I was extremely surprised at just how little she is actually in the movie. But in saying that, if you look back to last year's Avengers Infinity War, it does make a lot of sense, as I would say that Scarlett Johansson had a fairly decent amount of screen time in that film. Of course, there's that epic scene in Scotland where Black Widow, Captain America and Falcon rescue Scarlet Witch and the Vision from Corvus Glaive and Proxima Midnight. And of course we can't forget that jaw-dropping scene in Wakanda when Natasha teams up with her fellow Avengers and takes on an army of Outriders, as well as of course Thanos and the rest of the Black Order. So Scarlett definitely had some awesome scenes in that film. In this one, however, I would say that Natasha was mainly there to carry the story, and I definitely would not call that a bad thing, because she was vital to this iteration of the plot. As we see in the movie, Nat and Clint travel to Voromir, where they're introduced to the Red Skull, who explains to them that one of them must make a sacrifice for the Soul Stone. A soul for a soul, as he puts it. And I've seen online that some people don't particularly like that scene, mainly because of Scarlett Johansson and Jeremy Renner's acting. Some even calling it bad and wooden. Now personally, I couldn't disagree with this more, as I think everyone really brought their A game to this movie, especially these two, who both delivered fantastic performances. I mean, one of the things that I found most interesting about that scene was that both Nat and Clint had their very own motives as to why they think they should be the person to make the sacrifice. Of course, with Clint, he understandably just wanted his family back and felt that he deserved death as punishment for what he had become as Ronin. But with Natasha, she did it to bring back not just Clint's family and countless others in this universe, but also her own family. Not her mother or father, who she didn't even know the name of until Red Skull mentioned it, but the Avengers. She was willing to sacrifice her own life so that her family could live on, even if that meant she would never see them again. That's how much they meant to her, and just watching the two of them fight over who should die was pretty heartbreaking in itself. However, while Natasha may now be dead in the present day, she will of course continue to live on in the past of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because of course, as some of you may know, we're actually getting an official standalone Black Widow movie sometime next year, and I for one could not be more excited about this film, because there are just so many little references in past MCU movies that could be further explored either in this film or future sequels. For instance, we have little things like Dreykov's daughter, Sao Paulo, and the hospital fire, which Loki of course mentions in the Avengers when he explains to Nat, can she really wipe out that much red from her ledger? There's also Nat's dad, Ivan Romanoff, who we of course learned of from Red Skull in Avengers Endgame, and we can't forget about Budapest. Just what exactly makes that mission so special to Hawkeye and Black Widow? Widow. Plus, who knows, maybe we'll even see an appearance from Bucky Barnes as a nice little throwback to the whole bye-bye bikini scene from Captain America the Winter Soldier. Rumours for this movie even suggest that Taskmaster might actually be the main villain, which is extremely exciting news. Always wanted to see that character on the big screen, and I'm very curious to see if they'll actually use the de-aging technology, because I'm thinking that this movie will probably be set quite far in the past, likely before Iron Man 2, and maybe even act as Nat's origin story, and it would be no problem for Marvel Studios, because as Endgame proved, they have seriously perfected that de-aging technology. Anyway guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I think I've showcased everything that my custom version of Black Widow from Avengers Endgame can do in this game, so I want to thank you all very much for watching. Stay tuned for lots more videos real soon, and as always, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.